your knees in mud if the tide's out, so you come out looking very dishevelled indeed. But it's a wonderful ceremony. I'm here tonight just to say this. I thought of a poem which means a lot to me generally in life, and it's Robert Louis Stevenson, and he has a poem I think called The River, and it's all about this flowing river, and one couple of lines is, away down the river 100 miles or more, other little children will bring your boats ashore. And I think that means so much. Other little children will bring your boats ashore. So what you do here, you're only launching it, and later on the seeds grow, things happen as a result of what you've done. And when I think of the nuclear issue since the bombs went off in '45, how true that has been. I don't know whether you remember the name. Dean Thickness was the Dean of St Albans Abbey in 1945, and every cathedral and church in the country rang its bells when the Second World War ended after the Nagasaki bomb. But Dean Thickness refused to ring the bell at St Albans Cathedral. He said, I will not celebrate a war that's been brought to an end by an act of barbarism. They thought he was eccentric, I suppose. Many people must have disliked him, but that's what he said. There was a man called Michael de Bedouin who was the editor of the Catholic Herald, and Michael, quite a forward thinker, he said this has changed everything. No longer can any Christian talk about a just war when we're into weapons of this sort. Absolute revolution of thinking has got to happen, but it's taken a long time, but I think it's on its way. I think of Dorothy Day of the Catholic Worker Movement in the States, who would take no part in any of this, and went to prison because she refused even to take part in civil defence exercise. Eccentric. Away down the river, her boats have come ashore. And I think we have to remember that we are also in the position of inheriting from them and launching on to others. And I think we have the most amazing opportunity at this minute in this country. I would prefer that people got involved because of the immorality of what's going on. The idea of being willing to threaten to incinerate hundreds of thousands of people, that ought to be the motivation. Many people are used to the idea, but what they're not used to is spending massive billions and billions of pounds on yet more nuclear weapons, and they are not at all convinced that they add to their security in one little bit. And I think we have a wonderful opportunity. Every time there is a cut announced, we ought to be there in the local paper, on the radio station, with our councillor, with our MP, saying, why are we spending this money and cutting on these things that we really, really need? And that, I think, is something every one of us can do. And internationally, I think we're at a good moment. I know that President Obama has not lived up to all his hopes, etc., but at least he's somebody who's talked about the abolition of all nuclear weapons. We've just had a major conference in New York on the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and the great majority, 80% of the countries, signed up for negotiations on a convention eliminating all nuclear weapons. Sounds a bit off the wall. It's not off the wall. It's all perfectly possible. Inspection, verification, criminality, courts that work, all these things are possible. We've done it with other weapons. Why is it so extraordinary with nuclear weapons? But it does mean we have fundamentally to rethink our devotion to the one religion that really counts today, and that's religion of private nationalism. We have to think in international terms, not in national terms, if we're going to talk seriously about human security. Well, that's enough from me. You all want to start floating down the river, I'm sure, in due course. It's very nice to be invited along here. I know I'm a bit of an antiquity. It wasn't long ago someone met me on the street. Are you Bruce Kent? I said, yeah. Oh, he said, I thought you were dead. I thought that was a bit personal, really. Anyway, I'm still alive and kicking, and very much with you, and I congratulate what you're doing, and let's use this opportunity. The door is half open. Let's shove it fully open and get rid of all these barbarous instruments permanently. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to have our poet